Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm gonna walk you guys through with these foods here in front of me how I prepare for a backcountry extended stay hunt. Now everything you guys see here is going to give your body everything it needs to perform optimally while in the backcountry. So you're gonna have a great ratio of calories coming from carbohydrates, protein, and fat that are gonna power you through your next trip on the mountain. Taking the time to pre-ration your meals out by the day will ensure a couple of things. It'll make sure that each meal you're consuming while on the mountain has the proper ratio of protein, carbohydrates, and fat to fuel your repair, rebuild, and recovery and give you the energy you really need to power through. So before I start my meal prepping, I go through and I create a sample daily menu that has meal totals. For this trip, I have 7 meals a day planned. 50% of my calories from carbohydrates, 30% of my calories from protein, and 20% of my calories from fat. Starting with breakfast, we're gonna start with our protein first. So we're gonna scoop 1 scoop of Wilderness Athlete protein powder into a baggie. This 1 scoop of protein powder is equivalent to 115 calories, 20 grams of protein, and 1.5 grams of fat. And I just simply put that in this baggie. And that's good for one of my breakfasts. I'm gonna repeat this 4 more times. Now that I have my protein for breakfast laid out, next I'm gonna focus on getting in my carbohydrates. The great thing about old-fashioned oats on the mountain is that you don't have to cook them. You simply add cold water and enjoy. So for my serving, I'm going to eat for breakfast every day 1/2 cup of oats. The glycemic index of whole old-fashioned oats is far superior to instant oats. So if you think about if you were to take a piece of instant oat and put it on your tongue, how rapidly that dissolves, it does the same thing in your body. Because it dissolves so rapidly, it's going to increase your blood glucose levels really rapidly, which is going to cause a significant insulin response, which is going to cause you guys to have a blood sugar crash. So don't use instant oats, buy whole old-fashioned oats. One of the things that I love is cinnamon. So after I have put my 5 days worth of oatmeal in a baggie, I'm gonna now add cinnamon. Because I've done my meal planning in advance, I know I'm also gonna have oatmeal for an afternoon snack as well. So I'm actually preparing 10 oatmeals right now. And the reason I personally select oatmeal over eating a lot of bars or things that come out of a prepackaged container is because I feel so much better eating oatmeal. Next thing I'm gonna add is some dried fruit. So this is what my dried apples look like, and I really like apples with my oatmeal. So I'm gonna plan in here on top of my 1/2 cup of oatmeal, roughly 1/2 ounce of dried apples. I'm gonna put the oatmeal on my food scale and I'm gonna zero it out. So what I want to do is get this to where it says 1/2 ounce. So right now I'm at 1/8 and there's a 1/2 ounce of dried fruit. So now I'm gonna go through all my bags and ration out 1/2 ounce of dried fruit onto my oatmeal. And I'm almost making like my own granola here. You can add lots of things to make this taste good. So the last thing I want to consider here, I've got my protein source covered, I've got my carbohydrates covered. My protein in my meal here does not have a lot of added fat, so we need to add some fat to this meal. Now, I like peanuts. You guys can add pretty much anything that you want. Now, I like to weigh out my peanuts in advance so that I make sure that my nutrient ratios stay on key. So we're gonna zero out our food scale again and start the process over. Now I'm gonna add 1/4 ounce of peanuts to these. And it doesn't take much to hit that 1/4 ounce. So now I have 5 breakfasts worth of oatmeal and protein powder, but I'm not done. The next thing that I add to my breakfast is the good stuff from Wilderness Athlete. Now what I love about this is this affords me the opportunity to get in all of my vitamins easily and efficiently. So within the good stuff is fish oil, and fish oil is really important when we're on the backcountry is because it's gonna help combat inflammation, keep our joints lubricated and feeling really good. The next thing this has in here is a multivitamin. So when we're eating kind of repetitious meals, this is gonna help offset any micronutrient or macronutrient deficiencies that we might have from eating a repetitive meal. And then the other thing that this has inside of it is a probiotic. So it's going to keep our intestinal tract really healthy, our food processing and digesting very well so that we can get the most out of the food that we are consuming, all in one easy package. So I'm going to need 5 of these good stuffs with my breakfast. And lastly, if you guys are like me, life doesn't begin without coffee. Now, what I love about Wilderness Athlete Energy and Focus is that in the morning when I'm in a hurry on the mountain, I can mix this with cold water, shake and enjoy and get all the benefits of having a cup of coffee in terms of caffeine, but I also get the boost of having antioxidants and neurological adaptogens, which are gonna help me think better, be sharper on the mountain, and give me a ton of energy. Another option for breakfast, if you don't want to plan ahead, is investing in a Mountain House breakfast. They've got breakfast skillets, they've got eggs. Now, I like these. They taste great and they make an excellent treat, but the nutrient ratios aren't exactly right on to what I like to have for optimal performance. So if you throw these in, use them as a treat. Meal number 1 totals are 405 calories, 20 grams of protein, 8.5 grams of fat. In addition to making my own dried fruit, I really enjoy processing my own jerky. So at home, I make jerky out of ground burger, and I use primarily wild game, obviously. But if you don't have the opportunity to make your own jerky at home, Cabela's sells venison jerky in stores, so check it out. For our next meal, we're gonna have a combination of jerky and a bar, like a Cliff Bar or something very similar to this. So let me show you how I put this together. For my own personal nutrient requirements, I'm going to have 1.5 ounce of jerky servings. So I'll need 5 of these, which will be the equivalent of 3 ounces of meat. Meal number 2 has 370 calories, 20 grams of protein, and 7.5 grams of fat. For the next meal, I treat myself with wild game pepperoni. Now, I love the stuff that I make at home and I store in my freezer. However, it doesn't have the preservatives necessary to keep fresh on the trail. So Cabela's has wild game pepperoni sticks that are really delicious and a lot lower in fat than the kinds you'll find in a lot of grocery stores. One thing to keep in mind when you're eating wild game pepperoni is that it has a lot of fat in it. So by the time you get in your protein requirement, you've also fulfilled your fat requirement. So when I have pepperoni on the trail, I always pair it with something that has no fat and something lightweight. So I go back to my dried fruit. Meal number 3 is 4 wild game pepperoni sticks and 2 ounces of dried fruit. Meal total, 350 calories, 20 grams of protein, 12 grams of fat. Meal replacement is a great way to get in lots of condensed calories coming from carbs, fat, and protein without consuming a ton of food or weighing down your pack. The added benefit of a meal replacement is that you're gonna mix this with water, so it's gonna help naturally boost your hydration level as well. Although meal replacements are nutritionally designed to be a full meal, they are processed, and because it's in liquid form, it breaks down really fast in your body. So following my meal with meal replacement, I like to have a heartier backpacking meal, which leads me to our next meal. We're gonna have another meal consisting of the same oatmeal mix that we made for breakfast. We're going to add a Tuna Creations pouch. Now these are fantastic, but they only run about 16 grams of protein, so they're a little bit shy of protein and they're extremely low in fat. So we're gonna take the tuna pouch and we're also going to add a stick of elk pepperoni. Now, because we are in the afternoon and we've pushed through the morning, our hydration can be a little bit low. If we want to prevent any cramping, replace our electrolytes, replace our amino acids, next thing I like to drink with my afternoon meal is hydrate and recover. And this is going to give our body everything we need to refuel to charge through the rest of the day. Meal total, 425 calories, 21 grams of protein, 10.5 grams of fat. When it comes to bars, I've done a lot of research. Quest bars are hands down my choice go-to bar when it comes to taste and nutrient ratios. So throw a Quest bar into your bag on your next backcountry hunt. One thing I caution you is these things in cold weather get really frozen and they will bust your teeth. So if it's cold and you know you want to eat a Quest bar, keep it close to your body in a pocket to keep it soft and chewy. When it comes to dinners, I am yet to find a Mountain House freeze-dried meal that I don't love. They're lightweight, they're compact, simply add water, stir, and enjoy, and I promise you, you will love them as much as I do. Some of my favorite Mountain House meals from a nutrient standpoint would be the white bean chicken chili, the chicken breast with mashed potatoes, the Mexican style rice with chicken, chicken teriyaki, and chicken and dumplings. In addition to having a Mountain House for dinner, one of the things I like to consume in the evening is Wilderness Athlete Green Infusion. Now this is going to provide you in the evening with 6 servings of fruits and vegetables. Simply scoop it out into a baggie and add water. It's going to boost your hydration and give your body everything it needs nutrient-wise before you go to sleep and begin the process of repair, rebuild, and recovery. Daily total, approximately 2,400 calories, 166 grams of complete protein, 60 grams of fat. As a general rule of thumb, your food's going to weigh between 1.5 and 3 pounds. Now for me, each day my food totals just around 2 pounds. So on a 5-day trip, I'm going to be packing 10 pounds of food. The good thing about that is every day gets a little bit lighter. I hope you guys have enjoyed the latest tip from the wild, from my kitchen to yours. Enjoy on your next backcountry adventure.